Let's get something straight right away. The pros don't press any magical buttons or no hidden secrets that transform them into the best players. The title of this video, and so many others like it on YouTube, can be kinda misleading in that way. What the pro players really do is practice, watch gameplay, practice more, and repeat. Even with all that said, there are still tips I think you should know that can transform your game. Because as much as we like to think there aren't big things we're missing that the pros do, the small things add up and make all the difference in winning games. So instead of looking for that magical button, here are 13 realistic improvements you can implement today to start playing more like the pros. Number 1, first things first, I have to mention a quick tip to the players who use auto-aim. I'm sorry to inform you, but in 2025, auto-aim is not a viable option when trying to pursue betterment. If you really suck at aiming, then I guess you could keep using it, but otherwise, you need to start getting into the habit of always aiming by yourself. You can't accurately pre-fire, guard walls, lead your shots. Let's just start aiming for ourselves, please. Number 2, can we also start caring about the draft before games? I know this sounds silly, and you're probably questioning who wouldn't, but you would be surprised who doesn't strategically analyze the draft choices. If you don't take into consideration your teammates' choices and the opponent's choices, then listen up. A great draft can set you up for a major advantage and hopefully success. Take into consideration your teammates' brawler selections and the opponent's selections in the draft. If you realize they have range and you don't, then you might have to add range. If you think they're going for a very tank-oriented strategy, then get some anti-tank brawlers in your squad. It's all about predicting the opponents and trying to mitigate your team's risk to the different combos and metas. Number 3, another thing to keep in mind, do not give away the Brawl ball just to get out of your end. Sometimes pinning the Brawl ball in one of your corners until the game develops and you get an opportunity is better than throwing it away. I know what you might think, why would I put the ball in my own end? That would be stupid and make it easier for the opponents to score. At first I agreed, but after watching the professional matches, I understand why they do it, as hard as it is to do. Number 4. In the same sense, when you're attacking in Brawl Ball, you don't always have to shoot at the open net if it's risky. If you see the other team respawning and think, I wonder if I can score, maybe I'll use my super and it'll go in. Please do not do this. If your team has good positioning, wait it out and advance when you know you have a clear goal. Save that super for eliminating the opponents to create an easy goal for yourself. Don't waste it on trying to score a risky goal, because if it doesn't work out, you just lost your super and your advantage. Patience is a virtue, isn't it? Before we get into another one of our magical insights that will turn you into a pro, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to make sure you never miss another one of our videos. Number 5. Collecting the blue star and bounty is absolutely essential to starting every round off on the right track. Making sure you have that tiebreaker is the biggest advantage when time starts winding down. In recreational matches, it might not be the top priority, but as players get better and kills are less frequent, it's the difference between wins and losses. When you have the blue star, there's no need to force any kills, but the other team will have to, because you have that stupid little star. This usually results in an overstep at the wrong times and gives your team easy kills. Number 6. You don't always have to be fighting. I know this sounds stupid, but think about it. So many times, players find themselves engaging in combat just for the sake of combat. If you have a good position while you're using a shorter ranged brawler, then you don't have to force combat. This applies especially in modes like Knockout. Let them come to you and use cover as an advantage to avoid those sharpshooters. Like I said, patience is a virtue, isn't it? Yeah, I'm done. Sorry. Number 7. Having a designated gem holder can make the biggest difference in gem grab. This is one of those tips where you know it or you had no clue that this was a thing. If you can't communicate with your teammates, please designate a gem carrier in this game mode. For the most part, this character should be medium to long range and have enough health to take a shot or two. The reason pros always have a designated gem carrier is to free up their teammates to press and protect you. What this also does is let them play stress-free, knowing they have no gems to lose. As the gem carrier, you won't be pushing up the entire map. The goal is to hover around the middle and steal the center gem for your team whenever it spawns. I'm not saying your teammates can't grab gems if they get a big kill, but for the most part, have a designated gem carrier that plays passively. Number 8. In Knockout, the pros usually decide who they want to take on from the other team before the round even starts. Strategizing who you want to take on from the other team and where you'd like to aggress them on the map is a bigger part of the game than you think. If the map has lots of obstacles and cover, it usually ends up being 3 1v1s, and then develops when someone gets a kill. This is why we mentioned the draft is so important. If you have the edge on a character and are able to ISO them, it can set you up for major success in modes like Knockout. Number 9. Everyone knows this one, and I shouldn't have to mention it, but just in case we have some slow ones out there, it's very important to have a player on your team that can break walls in Brawl Ball. It's not every game that you need an El Primo or a Frank, but keep in mind there are so many other brawlers that can break walls. It can create a large advantage for your team having the front of the net wide open. The other team will just have to sit there and always worry about blocking a goal. It's not a rule. You don't always have to have a character that can break obstacles, but just something to think about. Number 10. I know what you're about to say. Another Brawl Ball tip? Really? Yes, another Brawl Ball tip. If you have a specific game mode you want tips about, then drop it in the comments. Otherwise, you get a lot of Brawl Ball from me today. If someone is charging at your face when you have the ball, just throw it at them. They have no choice but to waste an attack throwing it away because their character automatically picks it up, and now you have the edge in terms of attack or escape time. It's a really annoying thing you can do to the other team, and what are they supposed to do about it? You can really use this tip whenever, not exclusively when you're getting ran at. Number 11. Understanding the range of your opponents and staying in or out of it, depending on the circumstances, is something only really advanced players know how to do. But here's a trick you can use to quickly pick up on ranges. If the enemy is near an obstacle and can't reach you, then every time they shoot from beside or near that obstacle, just remember how far their last shot went. I know it sounds stupid now, but trust me when I say, understanding the different ranges of your opponents can make you withstand and avoid so many attacks. It's not realistic to memorize the tiles and know each character's range in a game situation, but using map cues is a realistic way to keep ranges in mind mid-game. Obviously, the more you practice, the better you will remember every character's range, so just keep grinding. Number 12. Captain Obvious alert incoming. Make the enemy defend you when they're low so they can't heal. Or even better, try and get some repeated damage on them when you can so they can't heal even if they wanted to. It's 2025 now and people are going to have to start working for those heals. If they back off behind an obstacle and their teammates really aren't that close, then push up a bit even if you're going to fall back when support arrives. There's no harm in stopping a heal when you can. It only opens up opportunities for the future. Number 13. It wouldn't be a Brawl Stars video if I didn't sneak a super character specific strategy in here, would it be? You probably use Nita the most in Brawl Ball because of her mid-range and dependence on some cover. When you get her super next, try using the bear as a defense to escape when you're in trouble, or as a shield when you want to push up the Brawl Ball. After all, he is pretty easy to dodge and kill, but he can eat a lot of damage before that happens. So if you want to rush a lane or escape out of one, remember he doubles as both a fluffy bear and a meat shield. Speaking of pro tips, a lot of what we covered today is evident when you watch pro matches. We actually recapped the past Brawl Stars World Championship in a short video, so if you don't want to spend hours on end rewatching the live streams, make sure to check out that video.